It's knowing them for a little while, but also having them. So one of them's my neighbor across the road, but the land's down the road a little ways. But one part of it for him was saying, "Hey, I see how you take care of your place right across the road. So, I mean, I know you're going to take care of it, because I see you taking care of it the way I would like it taken care of, other than letting it overgrow, which it already was." So I was like, "Hey, we can fix this thing up and clean this hay meadow up, and get these little trees out of there and stuff, and get some good native grasses established back there, and hopefully choke back some of these weeds." And that's part of it, just seeing you in action, and saying, "Hey, I see what your game plan is, and I follow that." So, but that's part of it. And sometimes it's trust, and they say, "Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we'll trust you." But some people don't think like that. You see a piece of land, and then you figure out, well, who owns it? Well, okay, I know that person, or I don't know that person. But my starting point was, hey, it's close to my house, so which is nice, because then I don't have to drive all over the place. Or I don't have to, when it goes to moving cows, you don't have to travel on major highways or anything. So I wanted it to be close to my house. So I find these kind of vacant tracts of land just driving by them, and then I look and see, who owns it, or ask around, who owns that. Well, then I find out who it is. Okay, so then I kind of get a game plan. I'll look at a satellite image at the tract of land. I'll see how much open acreage there is, how many trees, how much water, is it worth messing with. And so then I'll ask the owner, "Hey, is that something you'd ever be interested in leasing?" And they're like, eh. I'm like, "Well, I tell you what, let me go out there and just look at the fences and just see if it's even worth messing with." And usually they're like, "Okay, go ahead." So you go look at the fences, and you figure that into your plan, because you're like, "All right, how much fence am I going to have to replace?" And then you go up to them, essentially it's a proposal. It's not worth any money, but you're like, "Hey, I can fix those fences. I can, graze, brush hog, spray, whatever they want to do on their open fields," which I don't spray a lot, but kind of give them a management plan. Like, here's what I'd like to do, and I'll do it over the year if you'll lease that to me. And so then they're like, "I could do that. I don't see why not." And one of them was like, "Well, I like to hunt in the winter." And I was like, "That's fine. I'll pull everything off of there if that's all you want to do for it." And he's like, "Yeah, we might look at that." And then later he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm not going to hunt this year." I think they just didn't want to mess with it. It was just like, so if you did all the work and he set it in front of them and said, "Here you go, here's what I want to do," then they're more apt to say, "Yeah, okay." I mean, they just didn't want to, they didn't want to say, "Well, I'm not fixing that fence because I'm not going to run anything out there," or, "I'm not cleaning those trees. I'm not doing anything with it," right? It's just sitting there and I own it. And that was, that's part of the problem. But also, if you have a plan that says, "I can fix that," or "I'll take care of some of that," or whatever, you're not going to have to pay for it. I will. I think that's worth them saying, "Yeah, I could do that," because that needs to be done anyway. I'd like to have more land right next to my house. I would like to let some of these leases go, so that, hey, someone else may have the opportunity. And now that trust is kind of built there, maybe the owners will see, "Hey, that's not a bad idea to let someone come in there and lease that for, a limited amount of money or whatever." Now it's worth more money than it was to lease, but let someone else have the chance to kind of keep up the management on those other places.